Welcome back to Lessons in Self-Worth. Today, I want us to dive into the concept and idea around reparenting. I know that this is something in this community, people that struggle with their self-esteem have had many experiences in the past where your needs were not met, or some of you grew up in circumstances where there was neglect, pain, criticism, upset, or love was unpredictable, love was uncertain, and learning to love and care for yourself as an adult is something new. And it's true, many of us grow up carrying invisible, what I would say is like invisible wounds. The moments where you might have felt dismissed, you weren't praised for moments that really deserved praise, your efforts, your uniqueness may have been overlooked, and like I say, your needs ignored. Now, these experiences, they can leave a lingering sense of not being enough or not being someone special. And over time, that really impacts what you believe about yourself, how you see yourself, how you value yourself. And if you struggle with self-esteem, or you doubt your worth, or you feel unworthy of love or inferior to others, and you struggle to feel happiness, reparenting is a practice that really helps us to heal those old wounds so that we can feel more confident today. We can reclaim ourselves, the person who we would be without those experiences. Now, I say that lightly because obviously so many of us know that there's lots of gains from those experiences as well, and we want to be who we are. So it's not to take away our resilience, it's not to take away the strength that have come from those experiences, but it is the question of what conditions are on us, what rules do we have, what limits do we have on us from our experiences, and what limits would we be free from, and rules and conditions would we be free from if it wasn't for those wounds. Reparenting is the act of giving yourself the care, the guidance, the validation that you needed as a child, but perhaps never received. This is about supporting your inner child. I'm Carly Ann. I'm a psychotherapist specialising in self-esteem and self-worth. I work with people who may appear capable, confident, high achieving, high functioning on the outside, but internally you struggle. Internally you struggle with your mood, with self-doubt, with how you feel around other people, with rumination, worry, perfectionism. And you may well know that you're worthy. You may well know the logic of these things, yet you still find yourself repeating patterns that undermine your confidence, that undermine your self-respect. Reparenting is not about blaming anyone for the past. It's about learning to meet your own needs now, today, in this season of your life. Think of it as becoming your own nurturing parent, someone who listens, comforts, and protects you. If you felt unheard in the past or as a child, reparenting yourself today might look like noticing and validating your feelings. If you're coming home from work and you're feeling frustrated after work, if you're feeling triggered after a date, instead of pushing it away or criticizing yourself, you might say, it makes sense that I feel this way. I'm noticing that part of me is feeling frustrated. I'm noticing that something in me is feeling really triggered. And I'm acknowledging that. This simple act of acknowledging your feelings, your emotions, that part of you that hurts, can help break a lifetime of self-abandonment. Reparenting helps us to stand back, look at our lives, and decide where we want to be more boundaried, healthy boundaries. If we grew up in environments where our needs were ignored, or boundaries were really strict or non-existent, if we were constantly told or were trying to please others, you may find that today you say yes when it is no good for you. You may say that you say no when actually the answer is yes. We today will struggle with boundaries, and reparenting yourself is learning even what boundaries are. It's giving yourself the definition of boundaries. It's learning to set them without guilt, without fear, with it meaning that we might have to walk away from people or situations. It might be as simple as telling a friend I can't right now, and actually it's not that extreme. But these small acts affirm that your needs are important, and reparenting allows you to implement boundaries in your life, which is something that's so important for you and your happiness and your well-being. Another aspect of reparenting is learning to acknowledge your qualities, your achievements, what you bring to this world, your values, and embrace your worth. Children internalize messages of not being good enough, that you're not smart enough, or you'll never succeed. And as adults, these conditions and these rules, these ideas are still there. They still replay unconsciously. They still keep us stuck. And reparenting is you zooming out and saying, who did this younger me want to be? What qualities did this younger me bring to life that I've covered up and forgotten about? Because you still have them, or you can uncover them. You becoming your own cheerleader, celebrating your successes, no matter how small, saying nice things about you, saying that it's okay to love yourself, to like yourself, praising yourself, complimenting yourself, receiving that from others. Saying I did that, I'm proud of myself, I did well with this. To reparent yourself the way that you would know that a young child needs to be praised. Reparenting shows up in so many different ways. The list goes on, and really I'm just sharing some of the key ones. But ultimately what I want to say here is that this is a decision to reparent yourself. This is a decision to be the parent that you needed and that you need today. This is not a judgment about your parents. This is just about you today deciding how you want to show up for yourself, who you want to embody. Coming to my mind is another really powerful idea about reparenting, and it's comforting yourself. Sometimes we just need to be comforted. Love and others wasn't always available and still isn't available today. And we can feel scared and lonely. We can feel disappointed at times. And reparenting yourself allows you to be able to feel feelings and comfort yourself when things go wrong, instead of criticizing yourself. Make yourself a drink, write yourself a kind card or a note. Be with your feelings, nurture yourself. It's important that as adults today that we can cultivate this sense of belonging and this sense of self-acceptance. And I just feel like reparenting is giving ourselves that's what's coming through. Reparenting is giving ourselves giving ourselves another chance. And if you're in this community, if you're not in this community, what I mean, you are because you're listening here, but to take another step into the community, join my private Telegram, join the Self-Worth Reset, which is a free call. You can get the replay as well. You need to be signed up to it. If you are in this community, then I know that we're all in this position together where we deserve a second chance. I say a second chance. We deserve a shot at healthy love. We deserve a shot at having our needs met. We deserve the experience of being accepted and not criticized and not constantly expecting the worst. We deserve a nervous system that can hold happiness and peace and calm and freedom and love. You deserve people to treat you kindly and not to have to give all your love energy away and to worry all the time. So reparenting really helps us cultivate that. And if you've got low self-esteem and you feel like you must earn love or that you don't truly belong in some way, making the commitment to reparent yourself and become your own inner parent just gives us enough to be who we are. Instead of thinking I don't fit in, instead of thinking I'm not good enough, instead of thinking other people are better than me, it's about saying I do deserve friendship, love, and to share my opinion. I guess we are filling in the gaps the pain, some way healing the pain that's been left by our childhood or younger experiences. It's not a quick fix. Reparenting is not a quick fix. It's not a replacement. It's not about rewriting the past. I do some really great, and we can do this in single session therapy or ongoing therapy, but I do some really great reparenting interventions. If it's something that you know that you want, if you know that relational trauma has left its mark, you may want to engage with me as your therapist to do some reparenting work. It is so brilliant. I swear by it. It made such a difference to me, my freedom, my healing. And I think it just helps us to create a life that otherwise we're dreaming of. And reparenting can allow you to create safety, feeling capable, worthy through small, consistent acts. And visualization is really good for reparenting work. And our, visualization when it comes to our inner child and how we treat and comfort our inner child today. So gradually learning to see yourself as someone deserving of love and meeting unmet needs. It's not just a practice though, it's a journey of learning to be your own biggest cheerleader, your best friend, because don't forget, we are in this journey with ourselves until the end. So let's reclaim our self-worth, our happiness, a bigger life, a bigger vision for ourselves. Let's reclaim that. Let's not let our past or certain people or ideas or old beliefs keeping us from a life that we deserve. If you want to join the community, go to the link in the description. If you want to work with me directly, go to the link in the description. Thank you for spending this time with me on Lessons in Self-Worth today. If this episode helped, please leave a review, hit subscribe. It really can make a difference. And I really want to reach the people like us that need this podcast. And like I've said, you can visit the show notes to work with me, join the free community for support. This is a safe space to grow your self-worth, and I will be back here very soon.